Welcome to Star Trek Adventures Partisan's Edge, as hosted on the GM and the Great Barrier Network. I am Rev. I will be your storyteller for the evening, taking the role of Starfleet Command. And tonight, we are joined by the wonderful crew of the USS Vulcan's Forge. With us this evening is Caligo as Captain Blackburn.
Hello.
Ray, hell yes, welcome. Ray, who is not here right now, but she is on her way, will be manning the role of the executive officer, Commander Dyood. Sean will be taking on the role of Lieutenant Commander Sakal, tactical officer of the Vulcan's Forge, as well as the science officer, a Zindi insectoid by the name of Kirakit.
Greetings, y'all.
And last but certainly not least, we have Cheesy, who is taking on our chief medical officer, Lieutenant Barnaby Baxtra, as well as the newly appointed chief of engineering, Lieutenant Shamar.
Great here. I like it. Nice place.
I can't help but have noticed the hint of sarcasm in the great crew of the Vulcan's Forge, sir.
You guys have done nothing but great things so far, so I don't know what you're talking about. Before we begin, we have a few bits of housekeeping to get in order. First off, as always, we would like to thank our generous host and our streaming technician, our GM in the Great Barrier himself. He is truly a wonderful host for allowing us to tell our story on his stream while he is currently on hiatus from his current adventures. What adventures, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you did ask. We have the adventures of the Aegis, a Daedalus class vessel navigating the treacherous times post Star Trek Enterprise. And we have Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword, featuring the daring crew of an aging Raptor class Klingon vessel, the IKS Yan, as they attempt to stay away from that crazy madman at the beacon that's trying to get everybody to go to war with the Federation. Will they succeed? I sure hope so. But if you want to catch up and see what kinds of tomfoolery and shenaniganery those two crews have gotten into, please feel free to check the archives. I believe also they are up on the YouTubes. I could be incorrect on that, not 100% sure. It's a great time, and our crew that we have this evening is formed from one of those casts, that being the cast of the IKS Yan. I'd also like to shout out the channel points themselves for those of us who are watching. If you're interested in changing the narrative any, keep watching, collect those channel points. You can spend them on anything from reminding me to stay hydrated to adding complications, advantages, threat, momentum, even creating a line for an NPC to say. Also, feel free to check out the GM of the Great Barrier Discord, where you'll have updates on what is currently going on in the world of Partisan's Edge, which when the next episode is going to be dropping. And I believe also the GM of the Great Barrier socials. He's on not Mastodon, Blue Sky. One of those ones. Blue Sky, not the evil one. So check that out. For friends of the stream, as always, we'll shout out our friend Joe, the OverlandGamer. He joined us in our adventures aboard the Yan, but was unable to accompany us this time around as we transferred to the year 2355 aboard this Federation starship. I know that he's watching when he's able, and check out his streams as well. He's does a few varieties of video games, does a lot of Fallout stuff, all around great guy. check them out when you're able to. We also have another streamer with us, that being Caligo. How is life in the world of streaming these days, Caligo?
It's doing good. It's doing all right.
What do you have going on right now?
Still, just variety gaming. No specific plans coming up.
Gotcha. Is the mead still meading?
Yeah, I checked it today. It's still fermenting, so I'm gonna let that sit.
There's a guy
Very
I catch
nice.
sometimes on Facebook who makes mead. He's been making mead out of some very weird things, like Skittles and Starburst.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I've seen the Mr. Mountain Dew mead.
Oh yeah, the Mountain Dew mead is certainly
That's the
one
same
of
guy.
the choices.
That's the same guy. Yeah.
Same guy? Yep, I'm not surprised.
Excellent. Well, feel free to check out Caligo when he's streaming as well. He does all sorts of fun variety content. Okay. With that, I believe we have gone through our opening thanks and shout outs, and we can move on to a recap of our last episode as we began Star Trek Adventures Partisan's Edge in the Land of the Blind. The USS Vulcan's Forge was dispatched to the Quatal system, where they had been informed there was an illegal Cardassian colony that had been set up aboard on the planet of Quatal Prime. On their way, they encountered some electrogravitic wake activity, which led to a bit of an investigation began as to what exactly that might be and how it could affect the Vulcan's Forge, how they could hopefully find a way to counteract it. But in the meantime, they arrived aboard at the Quatal system. Once there, they encountered the administrator of that system, Administrator Kasep, who seemed quite confident that the colony was anything but illegal. In fact, she welcomed the captain to come down and visit herself by calling his bluff, perhaps a bluff, perhaps misapplied phrases to hint at the potential of violence. Who knows? Who knows what the captain plans?
Hopefully,
Certainly not the captain himself.
You think I plan?
We have the utmost confidence in Captain Blackburn to do the right thing.
Yes, of course.
Meanwhile, the investigations of the system turned out that there is an upcoming coronal ejection on the system star, which could severely impact the planet that the colonists are at. Nevertheless, the crew of the Vulcan's Forge pulled an original series, or those old scientists, as we like to call them here, and the entire bridge crew, bridge command staff, captain, first officer, chief of security, and chief medical officer decided to go down to the planet. However, a plan was put in motion, whereupon the commander and chief of security took one shuttle and in a daring maneuver managed to fake a sensor ghost to confuse the scans that may have been coming from the settlement itself, to let them believe that only one ship had departed from the Vulcan's Forge. Upon landing, the captain and chief medical officer learned that the true administrators of the planet were not the Cardassians, but in fact the Horta, a silicon-based rock-looking life form of very reasonably advanced intelligence, at least equal to most Federation races, who had brought on the Cardassian settlers as their carbon-based associates to do things that maybe are a little bit more difficult for them to do on their own. With this discovered, it did complicate matters, as according to the documents that were drafted on when the Horta were originally given this colony, nothing illegal was done. However, two very concerning things, well, one very concerning thing, one odd thing was discovered before we ended our last episode. Captain Blackburn found the terms of the agreement which brought the Cardassians here to be extremely erroneously unfair, drafted by a Daemon Grell, while Lieutenant Baxtra discovered that two of the patients that he was asked to determine and see if he could help treat their injuries were in fact injured by disruptors. And just as we conclude our recap, our fourth player arrives. Welcome, Ray. Applause. Cue applause. Okay, that didn't quite work. Cue applause. There we go. We were not about to start the fun without the... Oh, okay, never mind.
And now she's gone.
Well, it was fun while it lasted. All right. With that...
No.
Yeah. With that, let us come back into the moment that we left off at. As I switch us back to the theater of the mind. Lieutenant Baxtra, you had just completed scanning these two injured colonists and discovered that they were indeed suffering from disruptor burns. What is Baxtra's next thought process? What is he doing?
Creating the phaser burn or the disruptor fire.
All right. So, let's go ahead and do that. This is going to be a control and medicine roll.
Okay.
The difficulty of this is going to be 1. And I'm sure one of your focuses applies.
Awesome.
As you are taking a scan of the injuries themselves don't seem too bad. One of them looks like he was hit in the shoulder. Another one just kind of grazed along the side of the face. So you provide some mild pain relief for the one who was grazed, whereas the one that was hit in the shoulder requires a bit more attention. Oh, God. I forgot how to breathe for a second. Let us continue. And you begin to set up some analgesics as well as a dermal regenerator to help begin to repair the disintegrated flesh and cause it to regrow back over the wound that this civilian has suffered. The elderly Cardassian doctor comes over. Good. It's about time we got a functioning dermal regenerator. The one we got was... They didn't tell us it came out of last century, essentially. It takes so damn long to fix anybody's injuries.
And is this person a Cardassian?
He is. Elderly Cardassian man. Yeah.
Well, if you opened up a treaty, supply trade route with the Federation, we could probably help you with these supplies.
Ah, Federation. Yeah, right. That's a funny one. Doctor. You and I both know that what all they'd want to do is come in and plop us right out of here.
Well, if that were the case, wouldn't we come in guns blazing? It's a lot simpler, isn't it?
Maybe, but don't you have that shiny public image you gotta keep up?
Well, it's easy to keep up a public image. Cardassians know that. Damn near every species knows that.
Yeah, well, suppose they've gotten pretty good at that, haven't they?
Exactly. Which is why we've decided to come here just to help. Because that's mostly what we're supposed to do.
Well, I would say I believe it when I see it, but I'm seeing it now, so I guess I better start believing.
I didn't catch your name.
Dr. Etron.
A powerful name. My name is Lieutenant Barnaby Baxtra.
Military doctor. Well, I mean, I figured, being with Starfleet.
Started off as medic and then got a little bit of ship experience. Now I'm here.
You don't happen to have an extra one of those regenerators on you, do you?
Well, I don't know, GM. Do I have an extra one on me?
I would say, for the low cost of one momentum, sure, you can have an extra. Now, mind you, you did roll 2 successes on a difficulty 1 task, which means you do have 1 floating momentum right now.
Let's use that floating. Get some favor built up.
Yeah, I like that.
He looks at it. Good. This will help out whenever there's any little injuries that the rest of the colonists suffer. Believe it or not, life on this place isn't all sunshine and... what? Roses? Sunshine and roses?
Rainbows, actually.
Sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah. I did notice, though. I noticed the injuries weren't really mining related, were they?
Suppose they weren't. He goes back. He kind of just acknowledges that and gets ready to dawdle off back to his own work.
That's it? No. All right. If I'm going to help you, you're going to have to help me a little bit. What's big going on? Why is there firefights in a mining colony?
Well, thought you were in the business of helping people, fixing injuries, not probing about my business. Well, not
That's
my
where the
business, but the
military
colony's
comes in.
business. What do you say? Sorry.
That's where the military part comes in.
Yeah, what are you gonna do if I don't tell you? Gonna pull out that little phaser of yours and wave it around in my face?
No, that's where the doctor comes in. I'm going to figure it out eventually, as all doctors do.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened to them. They got shot at.
By who?
Does it matter?
Yes, it does.
Why?
Well, seeing as I am a primary care physician to these lovely mining folk, I assume I will be called upon to a more farther excursion. And then at that point, I would like to know who's shooting at my head.
Well, I suppose you're gonna be throwing yourself out there. I thought you were staying to help with people, not go out there and put yourself in danger.
If there's a medical emergency out there, I will put myself in danger immediately. It's my job.
Well, you did give me this nice little doodad. There's... Listen. I'm just a doctor. I don't really ask many questions myself. There's definitely a little more problems around these parts, and I'm sure the administrator would be more than happy to fill you in if you have any questions about the politics of this place, if that's really what you want to know.
Well, you see, the politics always have their own sense of things, but you're a doctor. You would be able to tell me whether things are worth it or not. Are all these injuries for the right cause? Is this the right solution type of thing? You're here to save lives. I'm here to save lives. I want your life saving opinion on what's going on, not a political opinion to sway me from A to B. I want the real answer.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a presence, and I will let you use presence and medicine on this.
Awesome.
Do you have a focus that would apply?
I don't think surgical techniques is the only thing that would be close.
No. Sorry. This is going to be
However,
opposed.
I would like to use my listener talent.
And could you please state for the audience what the listener talent does?
You know how to subtly use your emphatic skills to discern not only what is being said, but also what is being unsaid. This allows you to tell someone exactly what they need to hear. When you attempt a task to advise or convince someone into taking or refraining from a specific course of action, you may add a bonus d20.
Go for it.
Wow.
With 0 successes from 3 dice. It was a 13, an 18, and a 14. You needed to roll a 12 or under.
Yeah.
I have a quick question, Mr. GM.
Yes.
My talent that allows us to get...
You are not in the scene right now.
I am not in the scene, so it doesn't count. That's what I was
Correct.
asking. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Yeah, good question.
For those of you at home, my character has a talent that if someone fails a skill check or a check like this, we gain up momentum. But I'm not there, so it doesn't count.
Could I use is it determination to reroll?
It would be a determination to reroll those dice.
I would like to use a determination.
Okay, what value are you...
Life.
What value or directive are you triggering?
Either life is precious and must be saved at all costs, or those in need our help the most.
Those are both good values. You may choose which one.
I'm gonna go with life is precious.
All right.
Come
Go
on,
ahead and roll.
Bessie. Yeah.
With now one success, you meet the doctor's one success. However, since you are the active party of this roll, meeting is beating. The doctor looks at you real hard, silently, for a long, what seems to stretch on for a very long time, just narrowing his eyes. Looks back down at the regenerator that you gave him, looks back at you, grumbles to himself, sets the regenerator down, comes on over. Yes, if you must know, they're doing their best to keep this colony afloat and make sure that no unwanted attention gets turned on anybody who's here. I think it's a bit of a fool's errand, and I think all of our death warrants may have been signed, but I've lived a long time anyways.
I believe your head of whatever mentioned a rebel group type. What were they called again?
The Order?
Yes, the dangerous ones.
Oh yeah, we got them in the mines right now.
Now, did they have a problem with the rock people, or did that just come about?
Well, like I said, the politics of it all is a bit shaky, but you know a lot about how the Union governs things, how we work these days anyways.
The general amount. But I'm always down for a refresher.
Oh. To put all the beans in the basket, I think that's the saying. We, everybody has their part to play for the betterment of the government, of the people, for all our sons, all that stuff that they started spouting off. And, well, it doesn't leave much room for people who are interested in things that don't directly support growing the borders of the Union, if you catch my drift.
Okay, I'm following.
So those of us who are interested in doing other things got to find other ways to get out there and do other things. Even if that means taking bad deals. But then when people find out or catch wind of bad deals, they get a little curious. Send people to look around, and you either got to convince them that nothing suspicious is going on, which, by the way, nothing suspicious is going on. Let me assure you of that. I would have shot you if I thought we were doing something suspicious here. Or you make little unfortunate events befall those ones who have come to take a look at things.
So, You all just want to be left alone, right?
I do. You got me. I just want to do what I can. Administrator Cassep. She's a damn xenozoologist. You know how much use there is of those back home? We study vole breeding patterns back home to make sure they don't get out of control aboard our starships. Gets kind of boring after a few generations of doing that.
Would you be open? Now, I'm not speaking very highly because I'm not the captain or anything of the sort, but would you be open to talking and meeting for Federation assistance and collaboration if we help you with your problem here?
I don't like owing my life to any militaries. Thank you very much.
Then it will be just a collaboration where we will have open trade and you can provide your services out there and you would have possibly full access to transports to go from place to place to expand farther than just this outstation here.
No, I think I'm good, but Administrator Cassep might have some other opinions. That's up to you. But no, I'm good here.
But you do like more medical supplies. I know that.
That I do. That I do. You'd have to talk it over with the bosses about that, so quite frankly, my opinion ain't worth nothing.
Of course. No, I do understand in your culture, information is very big. So is it okay if I, with your permission, am I allowed to relay this conversation with my captain?
Captain's a military man or a doctor?
He's a military man, but not in a personality sense. In a personality sense, he is, well, just a man, my friend.
Forgive me for not agreeing with you, Mr. Baxtra. But one thing I've seen, you're either a man or you're a soldier, and sooner or later you gotta choose, and I don't really want to be beholden to anyone who could flip and be a soldier against me.
Well, then you probably shouldn't have given your information to me.
Well, I think you're a bit more of a doctor. Call it an old man's hunch.
Believe it or not, you're actually looking at somebody who spent a quarter of a century in the front lines.
Maybe my old man's hunch wasn't right then. Suppose I'll just have to kill you.
My friend, you could try.
If I wanted to try, I doubt I would even make it to. And he kind of points by his desk. You see a small disruptor. Doubt I'd even make it there before you unholster your little doodad and shot me.
I think you can
No.
make it farther than you think.
No need to worry about me, sir. No need to worry about me.
I'm gonna finish patching up these patients, and then I guess I'll call it a day. Take a look around your civilization.
Do what you will. As long as... You said I could keep this, right?
That's all yours, my friend.
Yeah. Do what you will, sir.
I'm back to patching up, and then I'm gonna head out.
All right.
Go walk around the town.
Very nice. As you continue to do that work and move on, I do believe that will bring us to our secondary party. So allow me to find those tokens real quick. Please hold. Elevator music. Lieutenant Commander Sakol and Commander Dyood. The two of you have successfully piloted the shuttle off in a maneuver that would make Red Squad jealous. Red Squad? Is it Red Squad? Sean?
Yes.
Thank you.
But they are not usually officially recognized.
Correct. But thank you for being my backup on that one.
Oh yeah.
I was like, Andor is out. I could be getting my
it's not Red 5.
Confused.
No, it's not Red 5.
There's a Red Squadron, Red 5 is a part of Red Squadron. But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying to touch down a bit of a jaunt away from any of the civilization. Is that correct?
Correct. We're basically just going to fly nap of the earth until we can get to where we know for certain that their sensors could pick us up if they were looking for us, and then we down to the ground and then wander our way over.
Very good.
With tricorders whistling away in hand.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, sir.
And phaser rifles slung on my back.
Yes, and you both should have phaser rifles on your character sheets now.
And phaser 2s you should have.
Yes. Yeah, I believe all of you already had phaser 1s and 2s.
Mm-hmm.
But I did add phaser 3s to those who did not have them of this party, which was Commander Dyood. Because I figured, you know what? From the get-go, let's give Lieutenant Commander Sakol the stat sheet for the phaser rifle 3. Because sooner or later, he will use it.
That is more than fine, because my bitch ass doesn't have access to Roll20 right now. So
Don't worry, I got you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think what I'd like to do then is I would like one of you.
And we have what? 1 or 2 security red shirts with us?
Let's say 2.
Okay. Are they in armor?
Yes, but that's not really going to apply to them. It's more of an advantage that you have the security guys.
Okay.
Because I'm not rolling for hordes of NPCs as well. All right.
No fun anymore.
I know. I don't like bogging down combat any more than I have to. I like to make it snappy. And deadly.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Good to know.
So let's go ahead. And yes, if I could have one of the two of you do a fitness and security roll, and the other one do a reason and science roll. You may choose who does what. One for the tricorder side of things, and one for the hike side of things.
Fitness and security, or reason and security.
Reason and science, or reason and science for tricorders.
Doing the science one is not in my best interest.
I suppose I shall do the science one.
Okay.
All right. And Lieutenant Commander Sakol, do you have any focuses that would apply to, hoofing it places?
I don't know. I have melee combat as a focus, as well as composure.
I would say I
am used to Vulcan's higher gravity and thinner oxygen content.
You are used to that, so that means I will decrease the difficulty of this roll for you. because you have the trait Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
But I will not give you a focus.
Fine. Be that way.
I think that's eminently fair.
I'm just
the difficulty was going to be 2. We're going to drop it down to 1.
All right, so here's mine. Ooh, look at that.
And Dyood, I will do your reason and science. Let's see. And I'll let your survival focus count. I think that fits.
Ah. Finally, making use of that goddamn focus.
Definitely would not be alternative medicine. That's for sure.
No, that wouldn't do it.
Nor would it be music.
Alternative
listen,
medicine is just
You
scary.
said my ass had to have a hobby, all right?
I thought your hobby was competitive lying.
No, that's just, part of him.
That's just a trait. I see. Okay. Now, that being said, I'm going to give you an option, Ray. You do have the talent Reconnaissance Flight.
Oh, yeah, fuck it up. Let's do it.
A character with this talent can spend 2 momentum to take flight and conduct an aerial search that reveals any visible threats within long range.
Yes.
So that will just be a straight 2 momentum spend for you, and you don't even have to roll.
You can use one of the floating momentum that I just got.
Yes, very good. So Sean, he scored 2 successes on a difficulty 1 task. That generates 1 floating momentum, plus 1 point of momentum from the momentum pool. That brings us down to 3 points of momentum. Lieutenant Commander Sokol, this is easy for you. This is the gravity of this planet is a little bit. It's not too bad compared to what you've done in both back home on Vulcan and just in combat simulations, or even real-time combat during your previous battles.
Mm-hmm.
This is not really a challenge for you. The 2 security officers start to lag a little bit, but you give them some tips on proper breath control and how not to wind yourself quickly, and they manage to keep up.
Make sure they drink some water.
Yep, stay hydrated.
Yep,
stay hydrated, friends.
About that. I'm not even sweating.
No, sir, you are not. Commander Dyood, you take off and are flying above as the rest of the crew walks along. And you see the colony lights in the distance. And you also notice you are approaching the mining facility itself. There is a small structure above ground that you can see. No lights on in the above ground structure. As you are looking, you see that there are a couple of rocks set in front of the main door, large rocks. And you take 1 pass and there's 2 rocks there. You take another pass and there's 1 rock there.
Do the rocks look like they belong?
That's a very strange question to ask.
Not really.
I fly back to Sokol. There seems to be an above ground domicile. To what direction am I talking about, by the way? Is it like north, south, whatever?
East.
To the east, there is a domicile, very suspicious, possibly sentient rock guarding the entrance. I advise we investigate.
A sentient rock, you say?
Suspiciously sentient rocks. Possibly.
Rocks, plural.
Well, there was 2, now there's 1, so 1 is on them somewhere.
These could be Horta.
Speak louder. I can't hear you.
These could be Horta, Commander. Are you familiar with the species?
Not terribly, he says, rubbing his wingtips together, not looking directly at you.
Native to the planet Janus 6. Silicone-based life form. Tunnels through rock as easily as we walk through air. I was unaware that any of them had actually left their home world.
Are they terribly dangerous?
They can be, if need be. When protecting themselves or others of their species, the acids they use to burrow through the rocks can quite easily convert normal carbon-based humanoid normal humanoid carbon-based life forms into small bits of carbonized calcium and a lot of outgassing.
I feel like most species can do that. They're not special, he announces. Regardless, do you think they might cause trouble with us approaching?
If there are more than the two that you saw, they may already be aware of our approach. I believe they can sense us through the vibrations that we make as we walk. If they were going to be trouble,
Simply stop walking.
that defeats our purpose here, Commander. They have, last I had heard, they had been outfitted, many of them, with vocorders with which they could communicate, as they have no vocal apparatus. If they have a problem with our presence, they would make themselves known and say so. They're quite logical species.
That being the case, then I see no problem in advancing closer to the possible domicile. There is some signs of civilization to the what direction is the civilization?
Northwest. No, excuse me, northeast.
To the northeast.
Yes, there's the mining
that-
colony. There's the mining colony itself. We are investigating what appears to be the mine head, the extra barracks that appear to be in addition to what they require, and we were also scheduled to take a look at their power generation systems.
Thank you for recapping. I have already forgotten what the hell we were here for, but
I assume so.
thank you for anticipating my absent-minded.
If a
Moving
Vulcan could be said to have a shit-eating grin, he would have it right now.
Shit-eating eyebrows.
Yep, there we go.
Shit-eating eyebrows. That's my new favorite phrase. Okay.
Ooh. Reminds me of a really
What
bad
do you
joke. I'll tell
propose
later.
we do, Lieutenant Commander Sakal?
If you have no problems continuing flying about, you could give us an aerial reconnoiter of the structures that we are
He nods.
deciding
Very good.
to take a look at, while we three will continue towards the mine head.
All right, let's do that. Do we have
All right.
do we have momentum we can spend for that?
I'm going to give you the option. I will let
Okay.
you either spend 2 momentum to do that, or I will let you do a roll.
Ooh, what do we want to do, guys?
I do the roll, I would think, because we only have 3 momentum.
All right, let's do the roll.
And if I have to shoot somebody, I want to be able to shoot somebody.
That is absolutely fair. So I'm going to make this a fitness and con roll. The difficulty is going to be the amount of momentum that it would take, which is 2. I will let your survival focus apply. And I think that's it. Let me see. Do you have anything else?
Probably
currently.
not.
Okay. with 2 successes.
Hot dang.
Hell yes.
Now, mind you, Commander Dyood had to roll an 11 or under, so there's a 55% chance of success, and managed to get
Wow.
2 successes.
Nicely done.
Yes, thank you, Dice Rolling app. Thank you, Roll20. Keep
Thanks.
doing well for the players, please, Roll20. We'll have a discussion in private later, Roll20.
All right, I guess I launch back up into the sky and continue my aerial surveillance.
All right, what would you like to survey?
I would start with the civilization first, as that is what I'm remembering the most of the conversation right now.
All right. Yes, so you remember that Sakol brought out the next thing you were going to check out was the abandoned, not abandoned, but the unused barracks location.
Yeah.
So you head that way. As you're kind of keeping an eye out, you're seeing the main settlement is there, and then there is a kind of a little bit away from it. There's another section of what appears to be buildings, but again, none of the lights are on. It's very quiet. It is nighttime, but it's very quiet even for the nighttime. As you do a bit of a fly around there, as you do, the thing that strikes you about this location, other than the fact that it seems like it's old, not old, old's not the right word.
Dilapidated?
Yes. Dilapidated to the point of it looks like it's almost never been used. You also see what is visible, even during the night, and with the layers of dust and dirt starting to cover over streets and building roofs, is a few tattered, slowly becoming tattered flags that are flying the symbols of the Cardassian Union. You would know that Cardassians do love their pomp and circumstance. So whatever this place is / was, it's definitely at one point in time somebody was trying to make this place or make that location important.
Can I do a like a scan for life with my tricorder?
Sure thing. That will be a reason and science roll.
Oh, I want to ask a question, but I can't ask the question. Never mind.
You can bring it up to the players and see if they want to ask the question.
In chat?
However you want to.
Okay. Give me a second.
Oh my god, 2 more successes!
Hell yes.
With a difficulty 1 task, that nets you 1 point of bonus momentum. You detect no life signs from this location.
I would like to land where it looked like the central meeting place of what this disused civil or town, mining town used to be. I want to land and kind of investigate first.
All right. You touch down. There's a few smaller structures, but then there's one larger one, kind of not really to the center, but like the center edge of this facility, this little facility, and you land.
All right.
And start poking around.
Yes.
All right. You're looking
Do
around.
I?
What would you like to look for?
Any kind of recent disturbances, like you mentioned earlier, there was dust that was visible from the fucking sky.
Well, I mean, you're doing reconnaissance flight, so
like
you're
over
not
to-
like
Yeah.
So you're looking to see if
Alright.
anything. You're looking to see if anything was like
Anything-
disturbed recently here.
Yes, recent disturbances. Any signs of life or any signs of death, if there are any kind of dead bodies lying about the place, I would kind of like to know.
Sure. As you're getting ready to touch down, you do see several sets of footprints in the dusty and dirty hallways or pathways here that seem to be going relatively orderly into that large building, and then many scattered ones leaving that large building.
I'm gonna go into the large building.
Okay. You enter the large building and you find a couple of grav. What are those things called? Grav trolleys? I don't know.
And an anti-grav sled?
Anti-grav sled. Thank you. A couple of anti-grav sleds with what appear to be some cases, closed cases of items that are stacked upon two anti-grav sleds.
He taps the case of the items. Contraband, perhaps? Can I access these?
Yes, you can. At least the first ones, you kind of mess around with it, open it, and you find several pairs of clothes. You find a pillow. You find some sheets.
Tholian silk sheets?
No, not Tholian silk sheets.
We're in the right area.
You are, yes. And some underwear, toothbrush.
Lifting the underwear and examining them thoroughly before dropping them back into case. Something about this is unsettling. And he looks around. Are there any other signs of life?
Other than the two grav sleds and again footprints in the dust, no. This place is pretty empty. A lot of depowered consoles in this room, and there's a decent sized little vid screen as well.
Can I walk to the vid screen? Like, is there any like obvious kind of power button or anything I could turn on the consoles with?
Yeah, I think you know enough about technology to know how to turn on a console.
All right, I go poking my little feathers around the place.
All right. Consoles light up, and they're standard Cardassian computer consoles.
Is there a log entry, or can I find log entries?
You find it empty of log entries. The only thing that you see is a construction date.
A construction date.
This it says military guest accommodations constructed 2354.
He looks at the date. What day? What year are we in?
2355. Early
Mm,
355.
mm.
You would see, based off of the Cardassian time units and calculating it backwards, maybe about 6 months ago.
Mm. He taps his communicator. Sakal,
Sakal here.
'tis I, Dyood. This place reeks of sudden abandonment. I am not comfortable with he holds the underwear up, findings here. As of apparently around 6 months ago, construction ceased. This place has not been used since. Well, he eyeballs the footsteps. Not for the purpose it was being built for.
Interesting.
There are signs of someone entering and exiting, but I have found nothing of note.
What has it been used for?
He drops the underwear again. Unclear. Possibly just a hideout, perhaps. There are cases of clothing. Bed clothes as well. He pokes the pillow. Things humanoids need to sleep.
Is there any
This
indication
looks...
as to what its purpose was?
Oh, GM, I'm going to let you tell me what the hell the purpose was again, because I've already forgotten.
Yes. Military guest accommodations.
Military guest accommodations.
A barracks. Interesting.
There are Cardassian flags everywhere.
That is concerning.
How is it going on the suspicious rock hunt?
Did you discover any more suspicious rocks?
No, but I know they're there.
They're always watching. They're in the skies. Teeny tiny Horta make up the dust particles of the rain that falls. Just kidding. Just kidding.
This will be his conspiracy theory moment.
Noted, Commander. Mr. GM, have we made it to the quote-unquote mine
Yes,
head
I think
yet?
we're going to move over to you now.
Okay, we are approaching the mine head. We will maintain communication blackout until otherwise. So call out.
Sakal, you begin to approach the mine head, and there is indeed a rock sitting right in front of the entrance.
Okay, first, does the rock look like it belongs? As in, does it look like the other rocks we have seen?
It looks similar, but like it doesn't belong. Like somebody is trying to make itself look like a rock that.
Does it have a big
That's
metal
fair.
box attached to it on the top?
This one does not have a box attached to it.
Does it have like shag carpet fringe around the edges?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Skull.
Think back.
Yes.
Devil in the dark.
I know exactly what you mean.
Okay.
A man inside a blankie moving around.
But it did. It had like
It did.
fringe.
As you begin to approach, you do see it kind of lift up a little bit and start to vibrate. And you see small, what you could assume are maybe like, phalanges all around the bottom of this thing kind of spread out and start to shake along the ground.
Okay. I put the tricorder in its little pocket, make sure the rifle is slung along the back, and I walk out, give it the Vulcan salute. Live long and prosper. They do like our species.
They do. You feel in the back of your eardrums just a almost subsonic droning for a little bit as it seems to its vibrations increase a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And from the side crawls another of these rocks. This one does have a large metal box attached to it.
Okay. When I see that one come, I turn, keeping the salute up. Greetings.
This one also looks a lot more like it belongs than the other one.
Okay.
Greetings. You are...
I take that as a question.
Correct.
I'm Lieutenant Commander Sakul of Starfleet.
Sakul, Starfleet Federation. Is this correct?
You are correct. Do you have a name or a designation?
I am crossed.
Crust.
Crossed.
Crossed. My apologies for the mispronunciation.
It is acceptable.
Can you tell
What
me
brings Sakul, Starfleet Federation to our beautiful colony?
Could you please explain to me the purpose of this structure? We had assumed it was the minehead.
This structure is the facilitation point between ourselves and our carbon-based envoys.
Are those envoys Cardassian?
Cardassian, yes.
Interesting. For what purpose do you need carbon-based envoys?
We like to learn about places beyond this system. We like to meet other races and taste their goods.
I was unaware that your species had left Janus 6. Your homeworld. Whatever its designation is to you.
Some have left to join your own Federation, Starfleet.
I have heard of these, but I had not realized you had left en masse and established colonies.
A small number have decided that it is time to taste the galaxy.
And how have your explorations fared so far?
It is a fascinating experience to learn of other worlds with their own unique diet.
Thank you for sharing with me.
Of course. Have you come to deal with the Blackstone clan?
I'm unaware of a Blackstone clan. What can you tell me?
Administrator Kassep said that soon members of a carbon-based envoys of hers would arrive to handle the Blackstone clan. Are you those envoys?
I do not believe so. I have not met this administrator.
That is strange. How did you arrive if you did not contact the administrator?
We came from a different route.
Ah, I see. As the administrator instructed, we have kept the Blackstone clan isolated within our minds. However, we are concerned about what they may be doing inside.
Who are the Blackstone clan, if I may ask?
The Blackstone clan are carbon life forms who came to disrupt our lives.
Really? Of what species are they?
They are carbon-based. You see it kind of rumble a little bit. The vocoder can't quite pick up what it's saying as it rumbles to the other one. The other one kind of rumbles back. We believe they are the same as Administrator Kasep.
That being Cardassian.
This is likely correct.
Give me a second. I need to look something up on my character sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have I didn't take the talent for doing a mind meld. Wasn't something. Yeah, I was thinking I could shortcut the conversation.
Let me just my mind to your rock.
Yeah,
My thoughts to your rock.
It's worked before. Okay, obviously Sakul thinks a lot faster than I do.
Yes. Would you like to do a roll to represent thinking? Sakul's thinking?
I don't know. What kind of role are you asking for here?
It would be, I would say, insight and security.
Would composure count?
No, but let me take a look at your focuses real quick.
Yeah, no, most of them deal with beating people up.
This is very true. Yeah, none of your focuses would apply. However, you do have a trait that I gave you, left the Science Academy. Because of your Science Academy training, I will decrease the difficulty of this role.
Oh, okay. I will take that.
The difficulty of this was going to be 3. The difficulty is now 2.
Okay. Well, let's see what the dice say. I'll take it.
The dice are on your side today, players. You're not a geologist. That was never your field, even when you were in the Science Academy. However, you have to take a little bit of everything when you're in the Science Academy. So you know a little bit about geology. And you're trying to think in terms of what a rock-based creature might think. You're trying to find similarities. And that regimented and calculating Vulcan mind makes a connection. Black stone. There is a particular type of black stone.
Oh, you are correct. Thank you.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, I was thinking the enemy were Horta at first, so I was not making that
the goal.
particular. I was not making that connection.
Dirty.
Okay. Okay. The warp core has ignited now. Sorry. Wait. What was this guy's name again? God.
Crust. It sounds like crust. That is intentional.
Yes, but it's more of an A-U.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Crast, I do appreciate you're taking the time out of your day to communicate with me.
Of course, we are always pleased to speak with our carbon-based friends.
One of my people once was the first of our kind to make contact with one of your kind.
You speak of the thought transference.
I do.
A fascinating tale from one of our great mothers.
I hope to continue the goodwill between our two species.
We are pleased to continue to be the guiding link between our race and all carbon-based species. We mean to only learn and not to harm anymore with unfortunate misunderstandings.
I thank you for your time. We have another destination to go to. Good day, sir.
Very well. May you have an oxygen-filled day.
I put up the salute again. Live long and prosper. I don't even know if he can see it or whatever, but, I have to do it. I'm a mole.
Let's not ask if a Horta can see. Those are questions that I don't want to get into.
No, I'm pretty sure that you can feel the vibration and feel the shape of what I have just gone and done.
You can
Because they did appreciate, she did appreciate Spock's ears.
Yep.
Unless Spock was lying his ass off. As a joke.
Or it was only through the mind meld that it saw a picture of what Spock looked like.
Could be. All right, so we will make a wide berth around this building and the Horta.
Okay.
And I'm going to whip out the tricorder and try to home in on their power generation systems.
All right. You begin to do that. I'm going to move us on as you are doing that to another scene. Does that sound fair?
Absolutely, sir.
All right. We are going to move us. You know what? We should see what's going on the bridge of the Vulcan's Forge right now.
Oh boy.
Lieutenant Shamar, how's bridge duty going for you?
I thought the bug was on the bridge.
Yes. However,
he is not part of the chain of command.
Correct.
Until it gets much further down.
Chief of Engineer is higher up on the chain of command.
Well, he's not happy. He wants to be in the engineering bay. So right now, he be checking the engineering bay from the big seat every minute.
I didn't think I'd be sitting here so soon. This isn't according to plan.
I'm not supposed to be in this chair. Bring me my grog.
Turbo lift doors open. And in steps a rather largely built, fine friend of the Federation, Ensign Tanner, our navigator, has finally gotten out of sickbay from, some unfortunate, let's just say one of his last missions before he got transferred. The biofilters had a bit of a hiccup, and he had been dealing with some not so pleasant viral effects. But he's back. He is back up and ready to serve. He approaches the helm station and sits down. Ray, would you like to introduce Ensign Tanner to us?
So first off, it's Tanar. Or Tanny.
Okay.
Alright. Secondly, you are neither my friend nor my mother. As a result, you will call me Nat. He looks around the bridge. This place is filthy. That's all right by me. And with that, he settles in, cracks his back. Where are we going? What are we doing?
What species is this guy?
What species is he, Ray?
Ryzian.
He's a Ryzian with a pissy attitude. How odd.
Why do you think he's not on Ryza anymore?
What'd you say?
He asked, why do you think he's not on Ryza anymore? Didn't work well in the service industry? Emphasis on service?
That is rude.
The Jamaharan was more like Jamaharaf with him around.
Ooh.
Excuse
Anyways, Lieutenant Shamar, you were just asked a question.
Well, as the primary navigator aboard this fantastic vessel, you'll be seeing that we be going about 0 knots, or 0 warp, 0 kph. As a matter of fact, you'll be seeing that we be following the orbit, because we're stationary, while ground team is on a planet.
All right. Sounds good. I do like your use of the term. Oh, what did you say? It wasn't warp.
That be not.
Nuts. I'm going to start using that. I'm going to pepper that into my daily speech. While we're on the subject, I am not a navigator. I am an interquadrental cabbie. Let's get it straight. Ugh.
That's what I said.
Yeah. That's not what you said.
I be the person who fixes the sails, and you be the person who navigates the ship. You're the navigator. I'm the person who keeps the ship running. It's a lot simpler to say navigator than all those big words that you said there.
Cabbie works fine.
Okay.
Tanar smiles to himself, pleased, showing off shockingly white teeth. All right, so we remain in orbit for the foreseeable future. I'm gonna go get a drink. It's coffee o'clock. And with that, he walks out of the room.
This is the most weirdest crew I have ever seen on a Federation ship.
And
I
you
probably
were
need
in
to
the
watch Lower
Record
Decks.
campaign.
I probably need to watch Lower Decks to see somebody worse.
The Valoran is at the tactical station. And Shamar, you hear her say, computer, activate tactile display. Well, I just noted that. You want to, as the ship's current commanding officer, you want to sign off on this reprimand for the Ensign Tanner for abandoning his station?
Lieutenant Shamar looks left, looks right, turns back around.
Tanar, who's in the hallway with a thermos, I'm 3 friggin' feet away. I haven't abandoned shit.
Oh no, I heard you quite. I know exactly where you are, Ensign. Sir.
Okay. Listen here, lad.
Because there is, by the way, there is no replicator on a Federation bridge. So you did leave.
Listen here, lass.
How did this guy make it through the academy?
I don't remember saying that there needed to be a warrant for reprimand for this individual. You see, everybody has their own little creative quirks, you understand? That's what makes them so good at their jobs. You see, look at our friend here, and he moves right next to the science officer. Look at him. Nothing but quirk. But you see how fast that this person is typing on the... Are you a he or a she? Or it?
Okay, I feel like you've just been zoning out this entire conversation doing your work until all of a sudden.
To be quite technical, sir, I am neither.
You see, quirk. But look at him go on this little doodad screen. Making its way through, nothing, no care in the world. I bet you if we were in the middle of a three-way neutron star in a cluster field full of asteroids, that person over there would navigate us straight through it like butter going through toast. Just like me. The engines are me home. I hate it here. The chairs are uncomfortable. Nothing beats sitting down on a nice warm warp core. But I do it because I have to. No reprimands today. There was no harm befallen mentally or physically.
As you wish,
Then our
sir.
shit-eating grin beats him to the room, and then he follows behind it. Yeah, there was no harm, no foul, no poultry of any kind. With that, he sits back at his station.
As you wish, sir.
Kirakit notes the entire conversation in a log. with his little digits moving so fast no one actually see that he's typing.
Okay, are you watching any of this happen? I just need to know if you need to make a roll.
Who?
Kirakit.
I'm behind everybody.
Yes, but you have compound eyes.
Yes, I'm watching everybody.
Okay, perfect.
There's just a tiny little blank spot right behind my head.
Yep.
Roll
I
your
know.
luck.
Let's do insight and science.
Science. And yeah,
He's gonna be
unfortunately.
contested.
Oh, you know what? This is his third appearance, and so I have.
This is his first appearance. This is part of his first appearance in this episode. So remember, it's per episode.
Yeah, I know. This is his first appearance in this episode, but he had an appearance in the previous episode. So, all right. So anyway, here's the roll for that.
Okay, and it's going to be.
And because I have a value now, I do have determination.
That's correct. It's going to be by her control and security. She does not have a focus for this. Does she have anything here? Oh, she does have acute senses. Hey. She is going to re-roll that 0 with her acute senses. Okay. Cricket, you see, you don't do a lot with tactile displays, not really your speed. But she definitely didn't delete that.
Delete what?
The reprimand that she wrote up.
Ah, okay.
As you're pretending or not even trying to look.
And again,
Mm-hmm.
he started the tickety-tacketing,
Mm-hmm.
in between the stuff he's already doing, when the guy who walked on the bridge opened his mouth.
Yep. She is blind, but she kind of turns her head in your direction.
Mm-hmm.
And has a look on her face like, don't mind me and what I'm doing. And then just continues on.
Well, it's not like I can raise an eyebrow or.
Yep.
And it's not like I can look like I'm looking at somebody because, I do have the antenna and the mandibles, but they're facing the opposite direction.
Yep.
Yeah, but no, the whole interchange between all three of these people has been noted.
He said this
Has
is going to be a
been
great
noted.
story for my great grandkids.
Or for my next clone.
Also, yep.
Let me tell
maybe-
you why you
and
don't
maybe-
want to go on Federation ships.
And maybe, just maybe, good blackmail material.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hey, so I was thinking we could get another science lab. About that time, the console that the Valorant's at beeps. And she's like, oh, looks like we got a communication coming in from
damn.
Starbase 211.
Put her through. Well, I've always wanted to say that. I will say that.
Aye, sir. As the image comes up. Lieutenant Shamar? Is that correct?
Aye, that be my name. Who might I be speaking with today?
We met, Admiral Anaya Trinzal, Starbase 211.
I knew that. How can I help you?
I need to speak with the captain. Get a status update of how things are going planetside.
Well, Captain, do be still planet side. Do you want me to try and patch you through? I can do my best.
Could you let him know that the Admiral wishes to speak with him?
I can do that.
Very good.
How are you?
The audio feed's already cut off. And you see her back looking at the computer data screen in front of her and typing away on some stuff.
Do we turn it off? Oh wait, it's already off.
Yes.
Okay, it's off. Okay. Well, that was neat. I thought they usually say like over and out or end communication or something.
People are shockingly devoid of good manners. He reaches back to pat him on the hand. You did good.
How long are your
If
arms?
Kirikit could sigh, he would, but you can't sigh when you breathe through spiracles in your abdomen.
Very true.
Side note, my arms are stubby as fuck. He just pats a console panel.
Okay, okay. I'm just checking here.
The Einar is what rank? I apologize.
Chief Petty Officer. Master
Ah.
Chief Petty Officer.
Captain,
Alright.
should the chief not signal to the captain now?
Ah, yes. I was just about to order it, but I was trying to think of a nickname for her. How do you like V?
I believe
Chief
it is
what?
standard
is sufficient.
I believe
Chief
it is
is
standard.
sufficient.
Captain, I believe it is standard protocol to address us by our rank and or name.
Ah. This is more for like when I'm in engineering bay, you know. I like to be friendly with my compatriots. Anyway, yeah. Send the message to the captain for a status update to send to the old admiral, or if he wants to talk to the admiral, whichever.
As you wish, sir. Patching you through to him now. As we transfer over. Wait a minute. Let me just move some tokens around.
Moving around at the speed.
All right, Captain Blackburn, you have been going over those records that Kasep has handed you for a while now, and things have only been reconfirming what you saw on your initial pass through. Everything is letter of the law legal from the agreement between the Horta and the Cardassians, and also Everything is equally letter of the law legal, yet entirely and completely illegal at the same time, with the deal that the administrator made with this Daemon Grell to relocate her and her people here.
I see.
It's baffling how something can be so legal and yet so completely and utterly unfair and predatory.
Oh, you mean like American health insurance?
I mean, I wasn't going to say it.
Sorry.
Anyway, I've been looking it over. Yeah, this is like, well, this is going to be an interesting status report I'll have to write.
I'm sure it will, Captain. So tell me, should I prepare my friends in the colony to pack their things and prepare to be unlawfully removed from our homes by the United Federation of Planets?
I'm inclined to agree with the letter of the law here. I am not going to suggest your removal.
She is somewhat taken aback by that. I see, Captain. Well,
I definitely think some things need to be worked out, though.
probably. Captain Blackburn, you know about Cardassian military and civilian protocols?
I am more familiar than most.
Very good. Then you know that we do like to listen to everything that happens. Administrators, everyone. Listening is a great asset to the Cardassian military. Yes, Captain?
Yes.
And you see her typing on a data pad, and she passes it to you, and it just says listening devices in office.
He'll nod at that. Ah.
But I am pleased to hear that you are agreeing to continue allowing me and our mining facility to operate. I'm sure there will be some things that will have to be discussed.
Legally, this is from a legal standpoint, this is officially a Horta colony, so
That is correct.
we will have to. I'm sure we can figure everything out. I just need to know how the Admiralty is going to think. They're a bit high-stressed at the moment.
I'm sure there are. Perhaps you'd like to return to your ship and discuss it with them? I'm sure that all of those watching and listening would be very pleased to have the frankly unsettling presence of a Federation captain and his warship return to his warship and no longer be putting the lives of Cardassian civilians at risk.
Of course, of course. I'm sure I've been making everyone more uncomfortable than necessary.
I'm sure, and I'm sure those who are what saw us come in and out, or at least heard your footsteps arrive, are likely eagerly preparing to stare into the windows to see who it is who might be coming. Pay us a visit.
Right. And Blackburn's gonna, get up from where he was sitting, finish off his glass of refreshing water. Till next time, Administrator.
Of course. May I walk you to your shuttle?
If you're so inclined.
That would be delightful. It is the least I can do after the perhaps bad foot we perhaps started off with. Is that not true, Captain?
True.
The two of you leave her office, step back outside into the cool night air, and she looks to you. Apologies for that, Captain.
It's just fine.
Now that I have your assurance that we will be dealt with fairly, I feel like it's only in turn that I deal perhaps a bit more fairly with you.
Go on.
Several weeks back, a party of Cardassian wellness officials, you could say, paid our little colony a visit. They believed that there were some irregularities with what we should be producing compared to what we are producing. That caused a great amount of concern amongst the Central Command.
Let's see.
They decided to station some observers here to make sure things are being run justly, fairly, to this Cardassian-owned colony. We may have left out two members of the Central Command that this is not a Cardassian-owned colony.
I see.
I'm not a soldier, Captain, but I am a Cardassian. I know how to make unfortunate accidents befall others if necessary, and I'm afraid those investigators might have found themselves trapped in a mine collapse.
I see.
The not entirely an issue that I had under my control. Everything was fine. until a Federation warship appeared. That may have triggered some alarm bells amongst our security measures, light as they are, and, well, Captain, I believe you might be expecting some friends up there who will not be pleased to see you, and once they come down here to make sure everything's okay, I feel like they may not be too pleased to see me either.
Well then, I have a feeling that the next few days are probably going to get rough for all of us.
I am in complete agreement. Let me know what I can do on my end. If you do decide to take up Harance's offer and remove those little problems for us, I can assure you it will make future negotiations with this colony much easier.
The Blackstone plan problems?
Yes, Blackstone Clan is what the Horta have taken to calling them. We call them the Obsidian Order.
I see. Well then.
Investigators, like I said, of the dangerous sort. You have to ensure the populace's loyalty, because you never know, the greatest dangers come from within the Union's own borders.
Heard rumors about them, and I'm certain that they are just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, I'm sure. I am quite sure. You see why I was a bit hesitant to provide this before I had your assurances.
I understand.
To be honest, Captain, had you not agreed, I would have pinned the whole thing on you. I would pin all of the actions on you and allow them to blow up your ship from orbit.
Yes. And I understand that you would very much not like to be labeled as traitors. And that is understandable. I don't hold it against you.
I would very much like to keep my friends and I in this colony alive. And right now, I think, and I pray that I'm right, you may be our best chance at that.
Well, I don't intend to leave you to fend for yourselves in this situation.
Good. Captain, you get a Tweedledee at your comm badge.
No, he presses it. Blackburn.
Vulcan's Forge to Captain Blackburn.
This is him. What is it?
The Admiral wishes a status update.
I see. I'm on my way back.
Very good.
Blackburn out.
Aye, sir.
Hey, I knew they said something.
And he'll look at the administrators and say, well, speak of the devil.
You have your dangers, I have mine, it seems.
We've got a lot of work to do, not a lot of time. So I'll be on my way.
Very good. And Captain,
Yes.
thank you for being more reasonable than I expected.
You're welcome. Well, I tend to give off mixed signals.
Raised eyebrow.
You know, he does a little grin. It's like, all right. Till next time, Administrator.
As you wish. Are you gathering up the whole crew? Well, by the whole crew, I mean Baxtra as well, to go back? Or are you leaving Baxtra here?
I'm gonna start walking back to the shuttle, and I'm gonna comm badge to Baxtra.
All right. Baxtra, what are you doing right now?
Walking around and investigating the colonies, just seeing what's up.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a reason and science roll. Difficulty of 1.
Science. I gotta pull up my sheet now. Running 2 characters is hard.
Wow, running 2 characters is hard. Wah. Imagine running
dang.
all the characters.
I wish I had one more determination.
You know how to minimize your sheets.
Yes, I do.
You said reason plus science?
Correct.
Rocking it.
Sweet. It looks like a little colony. Sure. Nothing really is out of the ordinary. It looks like a standard, little scientific outpost that you've seen before. Scientific research outpost that you've seen before. Back in Federation space.
Nice.
Very peaceful. And while the architecture is different, and the technology is different, familiar. You're kind of just looking around, making, good day, hi, hello, or good evening, hellos to people who are maybe kind of turn their heads a little curiously at you. And Captain calms you.
Baxtra here.
This is Captain Blackburn.
Oh, hello, Captain. How are you today?
Good. Baxtra, how are things going on your end?
Well, at this moment, I'm walking around the compound civilization and looks pretty standard. However, I was talking with the doctor. I got a little information from him. Turns
Nice.
out these Cardassians are, how do I put this? They want to expand, basically. They want to use their talents and things like that out here. They don't want to be bothered. And apparently these ruffians are giving them a lot of trouble that they really don't want.
I have a good idea on the exact situation they're dealing with.
Oh, splendid.
I need to head back to the ship to give the Admiral a update. You want to head back, or do you feel like you got more work down here?
Well,
Things
I am
might
just
get rough.
rough up there or rough down here?
Yes.
is the worst part of the job. Give me a number. Which will be worse? Your opinion, as of this moment.
A number?
When the things do hit the fan, which do you think is going to be more vulnerable? Basically, which do you think the ship is going to suffer more losses, or this outpost is going to suffer more losses?
It's hard to say. But there's just as likely gonna be some roughness up there, down here. I might have to lend a few boots later.
Well, I'll take station down here then. If things start hitting the fan here before they start hitting the fan up there, I'll let you know. So that way you can get boots down as fast as possible.
Also, when you're inside, be careful what you talk about. Apparently, the colony has a few eavesdroppers.
Ah, of course. I'll make sure to keep my mouth shut at the right time.
I'll leave Sibbins with you, just in case.
He's a good bloke. I'll take it. Is that all, Captain?
That is all.
Baxtra out.
All right. Actually, you continue your exploration of the colony. Blackburn, you return to the shuttle to go back to the Vulcan's Forge, or are you taking the comms inside the shuttle?
I'm probably gonna take the comms inside the shuttle.
All right. Oh, I forgot a shuttle interior. My bad. That'll come Tuesday. I do have one. It's just not ready.
Tuesday.
We can stay here, though. It's a happy place.
Happy.
You get into the shuttle, set up the secure comm line, and on the screen you see the initializing transmission standing by. And then it opens, and it's a little grainy. But mostly clear. Admiral Trinzal. Ah, Captain Blackburn. Good. Tell me, has the colony been dealt with?
I am sad to say that the situation is complicated.
You know, I should be surprised. But nothing's ever easy out here, is it? Care to elaborate?
There are Cardassians here. However, legally, they were invited by the Horta. This is a Horta colony.
You're kidding.
I am not.
I see.
Due to the wording of the treaty that the Horta made with Curzon Dax, any carbon-based organic life form can be asked to assist in any colonial efforts the Horta make. They invited Cardassians.
So, let me make sure I understand this properly, Captain. You are telling me that, according to the negotiated treaty, we can't remove these Cardassians.
Legally, as written, no.
They're employees.
I think the proper word for them would be expats.
Captain Blackburn, you likely have no idea how big of a headache you've just given me. I have 200 colonists from Camor 2 displaced by a Cardassian assault who were promised by the Federation the bones of this outpost once the illegal settlers were removed.
Well, I'm not done yet. There's more to the situation.
Damn it all.
The Cardassian colonists here are very much not fond of the Union.
Oh?
And they have made deals with someone by the name of Damon Grell.
Instantly, you see her jaw clench. Damon Grell, you say.
Yes.
So now the Ferengi are involved.
Their deal, as I have read it, is very in favor of this Damon.
It doesn't surprise me. All of our reports on the Empire of Ferenginar states that they are an incredibly ruthless, powerful, and destructive race. Individual members of their kind can raise to this rank that you mentioned, Daemon, whereupon they have their own private armies, all the weapons, legal and illegal, at their disposal. Entire system governments have collapsed on the whims of individual daemons. I cannot stress how dangerous these interactions may be. Tread carefully.
Well, the deal they have is that most of the minerals from this colony are being sold or given to Daemon as a way to hide the numbers of their production from the Union.
Curious. So they're intentionally trying to stay off the Union's radar, so to speak.
That's the that's what I've gathered from them.
That could be an avenue. Perhaps you could simply inform the Union, and the colony will take care of itself.
What do you mean by take care of itself?
I mean, Captain Blackburn, that there are a few dozen Cardassians here, as opposed to hundreds of hungry, hard-working Federation citizens aboard my station who were promised by their representatives that they would be given this colony once the illegal Cardassians were removed. I'm saying we simply let internal politics take their course. After all, it is a internal Cardassian matter, is it not?
If not for the Horta.
Damn it all.
This is
Can
a
you get-
Horta colony, and inviting the Union would put them at risk.
Is there any way to
No.
get them off-world, somewhere safe?
We could the Horta. I mean, if we could get them to agree to leave, we could take them off.
Captain,
But
I'm not going to give you an order to do this. To make one choice or another. This is your theater. But I have colonists that need to go somewhere. And you have Cardassians who are causing problems.
Well, this is my personal opinion. We annex the colony, and we leave the Cardassians here, and we bring in the Federation unit, and we protect all of them. We don't have to protect the Federation citizens anyway.
I will discuss the matter with the colonial representative, and I am sure that you will be hearing from them soon with their thoughts and opinions. And believe me, he has many thoughts and opinions.
Well, I'm going to treat this colony as a Horta colony, and I will extend them the Federation protection that they are rightfully have.
As you wish, Captain.
Anything else, Admiral?
Be careful out there.
I'm sure it will be a rough few days.
I'm sure things will get very interesting very quickly for you, and not in the pleasant sort of interesting. Admiral out.
Lovely.
As the screen fades black to black, Captain, what is your next move?
Well, I think it's time I go back to the Vulcan's Forge and see about getting an update from our other team.
Very good. The shuttle begins to take off into the atmosphere, returning to the Vulcan's Forge. As we close out, let's do one final scene. Where is that at? Okay. Here. And Lieutenant Commander Sakal, you were heading toward the power station. Is that correct?
Correct. I wanted to make sure that everything was copacetic there, and like they're not generating far more power than they need, military bases and so on.
Mhm. You catch the readings of the power facility, and you approach. As you're scanning it, it's making enough power to keep the colony lights on. Definitely not enough for a full mining facility, as you discovered from the planet's surface, from the planet's orbit, the amount of
However,
power.
if they're using Horta to help with the mining, that makes perfect sense now.
Yep. You do note that it does have the capacity to expand. The power plant is not running at full capacity.
Okay. But there aren't enough buildings or power sources that require, or machinery that requires them to run with more power.
Correct.
Okay.
But it's definitely been designed to be able to grow and
Okay.
power more things.
Well, I will communicate with Commander Dyood my findings. And then I will recommend that our detail. Can we beam up?
Yeah, you can.
Okay,
there's nothing stopping you from beaming up.
They're just making sure there were no issues. I'm going to recommend that the landing party beam up, and the lieutenant who flew us down take the shuttle back up.
All right. Very good.
Because I have things I need to talk to the captain about.
Very good.
In particular, the fact that apparently the Horta have asked for assistance in dealing with the Obsidian Order.
Very good. If you could just mark 1 point of power off the ship for transporters. I'm not going to make you roll for it, because
thank you.
Hey, this is not a life or death scenario where failure would be interesting.
Power. Okay.
As you beam up to the transport, the blue curtain materials. Oh, do I have a transporter room set? Hold up. I think I have a transporter room set. Did I get it ready? Dang it, I didn't get it ready. Another set that I have, but I never actually made. Okay, well, we'll fix that next episode. The blue curtain finishes materializing. The 4 of you appear on the transporter pad. The transporter operator gives you both a nod and says, "Sirs, the captain wishes to speak with you. He should be returning soon. His shuttle is en route." And
this guy's a chief?
Yes.
Or just thank you,
He's
Chief.
a chief.
Thank you,
Yes,
Chief.
sir.
In his office, or on the ready room, or on the bridge?
Likely. Well,
he's coming back in the shuttle.
Let you know.
He's coming back in the shuttle. I will meet
Yes.
him in the shuttle bay then.
Very good. Very good, sir. Bridge to Commander Dyood.
Dyood reporting.
Commander, long-range sensors have picked up Cardassian warp trails headed toward the system.
Sakal?
Yes, Commander. I'm just in the hallway outside the transporter.
We have Cardassians en route.
Well, then I will give my report to the captain on the bridge. Rerouting towards the bridge.
Yes.
That sounds like a good spot to stop.
Yep. That is exactly the plan. That is where we're going to leave tonight's episode.
And thankfully, he's alone in the corridor, so nobody sees the gleam that comes in his eye.
Nobody sees the single faint tick at the corner of his mouth. Thank you all for joining us for part 2 of In the Land of the Blind. The mystery begins to become unraveled as many problems begin to converge upon the crew of the Vulcan's Forge at once. can they handle them all without compromising the ideals of the Federation? We'll find out. Will there be some dead Cardassians next episode? By golly, there probably will be.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank goodness.
Yeah, there will be.
Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing y'all back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, for another episode of Star Trek Adventures Partisan's Edge.
Yay!
Once more, we'll thank our tech, the GM in the Great Barrier, for all of his work behind the scenes for keeping this running, as well as for letting us use his streaming service. For those of you who are watching on stream, stick around. We're going to be queuing up a raid for Doc BGA, a friend of the GM in the Great Barrier streaming folk. So please feel free to stick around as we do that raid. With that, our hailing frequencies are once more closed.